Do this full body calisthenics workout to get straight to achieving your calisthenics strength-based goals without the stress or time it takes to choose the right exercises. There's literally thousands of calisthenics exercises you can do. On my small YouTube channel, I've already demonstrated 350 different calisthenics exercises. Yes, I do keep track, and that's because every single one of my workouts comes with a free Excel sheet for you to use that has the exercises listed out as well as the suggested reps and sets. So I have a big master sheet. My name is Summer Fun Fitness. I'm a self-taught calisthenics athlete, helping you learn how to achieve incredible feats of athleticism as an untrained adult, much like myself. I will be demonstrating beginner to advanced modifications. In the bottom right-hand corner of every exercise, you'll see the amount of modifications that I'm going to show you. So if the first drill just scares the out of you, then just hold on, wait a minute, wait till we get to the last regression of that exercise, and maybe that's the one that's gonna work the best for you. The most ideal equipment for today is gonna be some resistance bands, some P-bars. Instead, you can use 2 chairs. You can use cans of food instead of a resistance band, and you can use a pillow instead of a yoga block. So get creative, look around your house, don't dismiss an exercise just because the first demonstration doesn't have the equipment that you have on hand. That being said, if you want some of the equipment, I will leave a coupon code in the description box below. Well, I think that's enough talking. Let's go ahead and get into the exercises. If you've been on my channel before, you know how much I like to prepare my body for the workout. So first we're gonna go hip extension to thoracic single arm bridge. You're gonna root down through your feet and through your shoulder, really extending up as much as you can. And as you learn the movement, you can begin to go faster. If you can't do the full range of motion, that's okay. Just do limited range of motion as well. If your knees don't touch today, that's fine. And to make it harder, you can go all the way up to a bridge if you're really feeling spicy. Next, into some thoracic rotations, doing them on both sides, of course. And then onto some wrist warm-up, definitely very important for today's workout. Moving into some spinal cat-cows. Please note that my hands are backwards here. Throughout your cat-cows, you can just rotate your wrist to get them warm in all directions. We can even do some spinal waves side to side. Or you can add a resistance band. This might help you connect with your spine a little bit better since you have something to push against and pull off of. And then on to lizard crawls. Don't worry, I'm gonna show you 4 different variations for you to choose from. Of course, this is the push-up version. You can do this without pushing up. You can also do this stationary if you don't really like crawling or moving throughout the gym. And then a regress version is just a general crawl. Pretend that you're on a track, so your hands and your feet stay in line with one another. You can go forward or backwards. Just make sure that you're pushing out nice and tall and engaging your core. And then of course, you can do it stationary as well, so you're not crawling across the entire gym floor. Take a little stretch if you need it, and then grab your resistance band. Throughout the workout today, I am gonna be using 3 different bands. For a discount code, check the description box below. First up is going to go from protraction to retraction. You don't have to do any of these drills with the bands. I just find it more effective for me. And some little retraction pulses here, making sure to keep your ribs down and your core tight throughout this whole banded shoulder drills. This one is a little bit strange, I know. It will take you some time to figure out, but I encourage you to try it. Pretend that you're standing in a hallway and you're trying to hold yourself up within that hallway, so you're trying to push out. And then you know we have to add in some shoulder elevation because I'm all about handstands here. And today we're going to be doing a lot of drills that require shoulder depression. So this is definitely a must-do for today. And then adding in some unilateral shoulder drills to help balance out some of our inequalities between our shoulders. And then moving on to our lower body mobility, choose sets and reps that work for you that really unlock some more mobility in your body. You will definitely need your hamstrings nice and warmed up for the first strength building exercise today. I aim for about 12 reps of each one of these drills. This one here might be my new favorite. I'm definitely going to incorporate this one more and more. I loved it. Time for the strength portion. Again, you'll find all the sets and reps in the description box below. We're gonna go V or L sit up to our crow pose. I highly recommend doing this on P-bars, and I'm gonna show you 6 different variations, so don't be worried if you don't have P-bars or you can't do this yet. On the floor is definitely the hardest variation. It's not really what we're aiming for because we want to be moving in and out of the position, but you do what you gotta do. If you don't have P-bars, then you can do it between 2 chairs. And you can also do negatives, so get into your crow pose and lower into your L or V sit. And get your butt back up and lower again. And if that's not possible for you, you can do a few sets of shoulder depression drills paired with crow holds. Moving on to our next strength building exercise, we're gonna do bent arm diamond planche holds. Your elbows are on the outside of the body. You are not leaning on them, at least for this variation. You also have the option here to go into a straddle, although that's quite difficult for me right now. Again, showing a different angle here to show you that I'm not resting on my elbows. You can also do this on P-bars. It looks a little funky from this angle. And you can actually move from diamond to straddle. Straddle is definitely going to be easier up on the P-bars. You can also do this between 2 chairs if you don't have P-bars. And to regress the movement, you can actually rest on your elbows. It's a little more funky to get into. You might have to bring your P-bars way closer. You can also do it on a chair where you jam your elbow into your guts and then press up from there. And if that's simply not possible, just do some bent arm plank holds. And you can play around with taking 1 foot off. You can also play with the width of your feet. You can put your feet in more of a straddle. Onto our third exercise, planche lean push-ups. I like to have this yoga block here so it really guides me down, because the goal here is to bring your chest and your shoulder in front of your hands. The more you lean out, the more difficult it is. I find if I don't have that yoga block there, then when I lower, I'll actually cheat and I'll lower closer towards a regular push-up instead of the planche lean. The whole goal of this is to eventually be able to push up where your hands are right beside either your belly button or your hips. For me, it's pretty difficult, so I'm just somewhere in between my belly button and the bottom of my bra. Of course, you can do this without the yoga block. You might be able to rep them out a little bit faster, but like I said before, I don't lean quite as far forward if I don't have that cue. Whenever you're doing this, I really want you to play with bringing your hands lower and lower to make it more difficult. You'll see in the screenshot here that my hands barely moved, yet it changed the difficulty of the exercise so much because now my shoulders are so far over my wrist, which is the ultimate goal. And of course, if this isn't possible, you're just gonna do regular push-ups with a little bit of lean. Onto a superset of 3 different exercises. You are going to grab your hardest resistance band. We're going to hit 50 reps. Throughout those 50 reps, you might downsize or downgrade the band. And I really like to do these with an undergrip, but try doing some overhanded and some underhanded just to see what activates your body the best. Make sure that you're really setting your scaps before pulling. And of course, to make it harder, you can widen your stance so there's more resistance on the band as well. You can also play with where you're pulling to. I like to pull towards my belly button. If you pull up higher, more towards your chest, you're gonna hit more of your delts. And then of course, if you can't do that, you can just hook it on your feet or hook it on a pole or something and do your rows that way. This is going to be supersetted with pistol squats to modified dragon squat, and don't you worry, I'm going to show you some different variation options. Of course, always doing both sides. It's always best to start with your most difficult side, although it is so hard to remember to start with your most difficult side. But be better than me, guys. Start with the bad side first. I clearly did not. You can, of course, do this with a chair assist. If that's not possible for you, you can do just pistol squats. On your bad side too, of course. Again, I forgot to do my bad side first. You know it's my bad side because my foot's not pointed. And then you can use a chair if you can't do freestanding pistol squats. Sit your butt down and then push off that standing leg, really controlling the lowering movement. And then moving into explosive lateral lunges. For this one, you can play with what that anchor leg is doing. You can put your heel up to turn it into more of a Cossack lunge instead of a lateral lunge, or you can keep your foot planted the whole time. If you go into foot up, into the Cossack, you're gonna work more of your hamstrings. And of course, you can do a limited range of motion. Just do the range of motion that works for you, that allows you to keep proper form. So here I'm showing you what it would look like if you didn't go all the way down. Going into the side view, so I want to keep my spine nice and flat, really focusing on using that outside leg, really working that outside leg. You don't want to be leaning forward with your chest and taking the weight out of your leg. If you lean forward, you're not going to have as effective of an exercise. So instead, get your spine nice and tall and long and use the leg, bend through the hip joint, bend through the knee. And if that's not possible, put a chair behind your bum, keep your spine nice and long, use that chair to prevent yourself from falling over, and learning how to actually sit your butt back instead of leaning your chest forward. Finishing up with a burnout of push-ups, whatever style push-ups you want. You can even start with the hardest variation, so you could do diamond push-ups all the way just to regular push-ups, whatever works for you. This is just meant to get maximum volume in. And then what I'm doing here is a little bit weird, but I could tell my left arm wasn't pushing as efficiently as my right. So I just got a few extra reps in trying to actually push with that left arm. And then working on some hip flexors, seated leg lifts. You can do these piked, you can do them straddled. Pick your reps based on your own body, and feel free to prop your hands up on a yoga block behind your back to make it easier instead of having your hands in front of your body. And then time to stretch everything out, keeping your chest open here. This looks a little bit weird because I have this roller between my arms, but I use the roller to remind myself to squeeze my shoulder blades together to really open up that chest. And now, because we're stretching, we're spending more time in this position and trying to relax the body. And then because we did quite a bit of pushing today, remember to stretch out your pecs. I like to put a foam roller or a ball under my pec and move back and forth, trying to release some tension. I flip my leg over so my spine gets a nice twist as well. And then add on any other stretches that your body needs. You don't want to be too sore tomorrow, so make sure you spend some time stretching. Let me know in the comments, did you enjoy the different modifications that I show for every exercise? It definitely takes some time to film that many modifications, so let me know if that's something you appreciate. And of course, the free Excel sheets with the sets and reps written out will be available in the description box. And now that you've hit your calisthenics strength workout for the week, it's time to work on your skills. Click this video to try my handstand walking workout routine. Of course, modifications will be included. For weekly calisthenics video, hit subscribe. And for daily content, visit me on Instagram, Summer Fun Fitness. Thank you so much for being here. And you too, Bo. Thank you for being here for the whole video.